Skinny Hardaway Southern T back with another EP. And y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, if y'all could do your boy a favor, hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in, man. Whether it's your first time, could you do your boy a favor? Not make it your last time. Hit that subscription button as well. We talk that good boxing every day, not just today. Good boxing, good MMA, good sports every single day. All sports, all day. I got a saying, man, if you love ESPN, you go love TSPN. You know what I mean? All sports all day long. Today we're here to talk about the fight last night, the big fight last night, right? The GOAT, Claressa Shields stepped in the ring. And pretty much it was a classic Claressa Shields performance, right? A classic Claressa Shields performance, right? And I said that for a reason. Because today here, of course, you can see in the title, Claressa Shields won her fight. She won 12-0. The woman didn't win the round. Like the woman that she faced off with didn't win a single round. Claressa Shields made it look easy, right? And when I say she made it look easy, that's exactly what I mean. She made it look easy, right? Because it's indeed not an easy thing that Claressa Shields is going out there and doing, right? She's going out there and she's 12 on, other grown women, other professional boxers, other women who've been boxing their whole life, right? Other women who get paid to do this, right? She went out there and, in classic Claressa Shields form. Charles Granger was good. Slim Hustlers. Appreciate you sliding through, everybody. She went out there in classic Claressa Shields form, right? And she went out there and she put on a virtuoso performance. You know what I mean? I think, and then I noticed something last night, right? I noticed something this morning, right? People still found, a lot to pick over with Claressa Shields' performance, right? Most of the haters, right? They still found a lot to pick over with Claressa Shields, but I'm not even addressing the haters right now this morning with this EP, right? I'm not even addressing the haters this morning with this EP. I'm addressing us as Claressa Shields fans, right? And even myself included. Maybe not to a bigger degree as a lot of other people, right? But to some degree, right? With Claressa Shields, I feel like we have gotten us fans, the boxing world, everybody, right? I feel like we have gotten a little complacent with Claressa Shields and her greatness, right? And her performances. With Claressa Shields, it's more so with Claressa Shields, right? It's expected of her, to go out there and win these fights and win them in impressive fashion, right? But it really shouldn't be expected, right? Again, she makes it look easy. It's really not an easy thing. I think we have gotten so comfortable in her, running through opponents and beating these opponents, right? That we tend to breeze over, Claressa Shields a little bit, right? We tend to breeze over her confidence a little bit. We tend to breeze over what she's actually doing, right? We Stephen there, Mac was good. Appreciate y'all sliding through. I see y'all in the bed. I'm putting y'all comments up, as I scroll down this thing, right? We'll come to expect greatness and perfection, right, from Claressa Shields. So when she gives us, greatness and damn near perfection, right? We tend to kind of, take it for granted a little bit. I see a little bit of that. This is just me, from the outside looking in. I could be, it's just my perspective, right? It's a little bit of that Floyd Mayweather syndrome. My video already went yellow. That's crazy. It's a little bit of that Floyd Mayweather syndrome, right? When it comes to Claressa Shields, like it's like she's almost too good for her own good sometimes, right? It's almost like, and it not just inside of the ring, right? It almost starts before she even steps in the ring. Southern T, what you mean, right? People, a lot of people, Stephen there, the Mac was. I thought you was rich up, Stephen there, the Mac. Like it starts before she even gets in the ring, right? Like we see Claressa Shields. It's not quite, and I know women's boxing, right, ain't quite at the level that men's boxing is, but Claressa Shields is part of, a large part of the reason, the biggest reason, to some, the only reason, right, that women's boxing is starting to make its re-emergence, right? But it's like we've gotten so comfortable with Claressa Shields and expecting her to win. I don't feel like that a lot of us, even as fans, not the haters, because the haters go do their job, right? But as fans, right, I feel like we didn't, right? We're getting comfortable with Claressa Shields and her greatness, right? I tell y'all something. I know what I noticed last night. And again, women's boxing ain't as popular as men's boxing, right? But when it's a fight card call, right? Now, people weren't calling fights at all for a long time around these YouTube streets. I'm just be real with you. They wasn't calling fights at all around here for a long time, right? But a little brother named Southern T had brought that shit back to life for y'all. So y'all can thank me for that, right? But I noticed something. But I did, yeah, I need my credit for that. But I noticed something, right? There wasn't a whole lot of people calling this Claressa Shields fight. Did you notice that? Did you look around YouTube? Did you happen to look around YouTube, right? And did you happen to notice that there wasn't a whole lot of Claressa Shields fight cards going on, right? And I'm not knocking anybody, right? What's good, Jeff? Let me go on down. Put everybody coming up here. Appreciate y'all folks sliding through. Y'all could hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. My bad. If y'all could hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. But yeah, I noticed last night, right? There wasn't a whole lot of people, calling this Claressa Shields fight. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't a whole lot of people watching it, right? But I noticed there wasn't a whole lot of people, calling this fight like they would call, the other fights. And I think that's a little bit of us, getting so complacent, getting so comfortable with Claressa Shields being good, you know what I mean? Type deal, getting so comfortable, right, with greatness, right? We've come to expect Claressa Shields to 12-0 these opponents, right? We've come to expect Claressa Shields, to be easily whoever she's stepping there in the ring with, right? We almost have gotten to the point where we see Claressa Shields' name, right, and we almost, forego the opponent just because we know that Claressa Shields is going to win it, right? And it's pros to that, right? And it's cons to that. I think right now we're living in the moment of Claressa Shields, right? And we're not going to really and truly be able to appreciate what she's doing, right? Until she's not doing it anymore. What you mean, Southern T, right? Like while we're in it right now, like while we're in the prime of Claressa Shields, right? While we're in it, it's like we're taking it for granted. I feel like, I feel like we kind of take it for granted. Even myself a little bit, right? You take it for granted. Oh, Claressa Shields got to fight. Oh, yeah, I know she going in. Sometimes we don't even, I noticed this. Like some people didn't even bother to call this fight, right? I noticed around YouTube, some people didn't even bother to call the fight. You know what I mean? I feel like we're getting to a point where we may be starting to take Claressa Shields for granted a little bit. Now that has largely to do with, there's not a whole lot of popular women's boxers, right? But there's not a whole lot of, popular women boxers because there's not, a whole lot of people who are covering the sport like that. You have people who cover Claressa Shields, right? But even now, I feel like we're getting a little complacent with Claressa Shields because, she's fighting Corneja. She's going to beat Corneja. And last night, right, it was supposed to be Hannah Gabriel's, right? I think it would have been way more fight calls for Claressa last night. If it was Hannah Gabriel's, right, it was a replacement opponent. But all in all, I just noticed myself that it wasn't a whole lot of Claressa Shields fight calls going on around on YouTube, right? And I think as a whole, as a community, right, we're kind of getting complacent. Like if Claressa Shields had a loss last night, you would have had everybody talking about it. You would have had everybody talking about it right after the fight that night. You know what I mean? But I feel like because she won, right? I feel like there wasn't enough people calling the fight. And I feel like, because she won and she won 12-0, pretty much, as expected, I feel like that there's not going to be a lot of people talking about it. Now, again, the opponent switched from Marshall. The opponent switched from Gabriel. What's good, Big Tex? The opponent switched from Gabriel. I think, had a lot to do with, taking a little bit of the luster out of the fight, right? But not just the fight last night, her fights in general. Like, it was a real big push behind the Savannah Marshall fight, right? Everybody got involved in going with that one. But that was literally the only one. And that was, she 12-0'd her as well. You get what I'm saying? So we've come to expect these 12-0s from Claressa Shields. And I think the longer that she boxes, right, I think the more comfortable that we're going to get. It's almost like she's winning these fights too easy. A large problem, I think, with this is, right, it's not even Claressa Shields' fault, right? This has really nothing to do with her. I hate that us as fans, right, we get like this sometimes, but this is largely because it's not a whole lot of, threats to Claressa Shields, right? It's not a whole lot of threats to Claressa Shields, but what people got to realize is the media creates fights. The media creates threats. The media creates, superstars and whatnot. Claressa Shields don't have any opponents because, the media isn't pushing the right opponent. The media is more so pushing what Claressa Shields ain't doing, right. When after you see a Claressa fight, what do you hear mostly? Oh, she ain't got no power. Women need more knockouts. Women need 10-minute rounds. She need, what I'm saying? That's what you hear after Claressa Shields fights. That's the narrative being pushed instead of pushing, oh, this is Floyd Mayweather. Like, Claressa Shields is going to here. She's beating these girls 12-0, 12-0, champion after champion after champion after champion. Y'all saw what I did there? I said there for a reason. Shout out my girl Tay MMA. I said there for a reason. You know what I mean? It's getting to a point where Claressa Shields is starting to fall in that Floyd Mayweather circle, right? Like, but for her, for Floyd, right, it increased his value because there were a lot of different opponents that we thought could beat Floyd, right? Oh, well, this guy could beat Floyd, right? This guy probably could beat Floyd. Let's put Floyd with this guy. This guy could beat him, right? With Claressa Shields, there aren't a whole lot of fighters that's being, pushed out to beat her. You know what I mean? There are not a whole lot of fighters. Most fighters around her weight class, don't even want to fight her. I hate that. It is what it is right now. But I think, Claressa Shields' opponent is probably going to be true enough. We may be able to find her one. I think Shadeja Green probably will be the best opponent, right? But then, we'll have to get her going. We'll have to get her pushed. Have to start pushing her, getting her name out there to build up a fight. I think Shadeja Green would be the perfect fight for Claressa Shields as far as an opponent. But regardless of the opponent, last night I noticed that there wasn't a whole, I ain't gonna say there wasn't a whole lot of support for Claressa Shields, right? Because we clearly saw how Detroit came out last night. They packed out their stadium, they packed out their house, right? So there was support in her hometown. But just normally how it works on YouTube, there's normally, you see everybody doing fight calls now, right? Everybody stopped for years on years. But lately, you'll see everybody doing fight calls, right? I didn't see too many fight calls for Claressa Shields last night, and I think that is part of the problem. Claressa Shields is one of one, which leads to a lot of her 12-0 wins, right, in these decisions. But with us as boxing fans, right, I feel like we're getting real comfortable. With Claressa and what she's doing. He said, when I talk to people about Claressa, people don't like her attitude, not her skills, because she said she'll be a global superstar. She's nearly unstoppable in boxing. That's what I was saying, Pablo. People so worried about trying to control Claressa. Well, she need to do this. Well, she need to do that. Claressa Shields is taking on, and I kind of think that she has to, right? She has to at this point because she doesn't have that opponent to match her, right? And I like it. And I think we gotta do better as her fans, right? As the media of, bringing more attention to her greatness, right? Until we get that opponent, because women's boxing ain't as deep as we would like, right? So it ain't a whole lot to pay attention to, right? But I think by bringing attention to Claressa, right? Instead of after the fight. This most of what people say, though, what I was saying, after her fights, most people say, oh, well, she didn't get the knockout, right? Most people say, oh, well, I don't like her attitude. I don't like how she talked. It's always something else with Claressa Shields instead of, oh, she beat that girl 12-0. Oh, she beat Savannah Marshall 11-1. Oh, she beat Hannah Gabriels 10-2. You know what I mean? It's always everything else with Claressa. You watch the fight, you look for technical flaws, you look for flaws in her game. You can't find them. She wins 12-0. And then after the fight, you talk about her not being able to get, knockouts, or her being pillow fisted or whatever. I think that's what's messing it up. I feel like that's what's messing up. We're taking her for granted, right? Because if she was getting, all the knockouts, a la Deontay Wilder, then people would say, well, she only get knockouts. We had Ann Wolf back in the day, right? We used to get hella knockouts. They didn't, push her to the front or to the forefront, right? Layla Ali had her time. She did her thing. She was a knockout fighter, but most of her success was from her being Muhammad Ali's daughter. Claressa Shields is a self-made, athlete. The way she did it ain't quite like, the way everybody else had to do it. You know what I mean? And that's mostly my problem, Pablo, when people talk about Claressa, is always what she isn't doing. And we're taking for granted actually what she is doing. You know what I mean? Again, Floyd Mayweather didn't go in there and knock everybody out, especially not on the latter end, on the back end of his career, right? On the back end, it was mostly 12 rounds. On the back end, it was mostly 12 rounds. You know what I mean? For Floyd. But I feel like that's the problem. Like, we're looking at her 12 round and people are saying, oh, well, she needs to do more. She needs to do more. She needs to do this, right? When she don't need to do more. She don't need to get knocked out. She don't need to do this. Every time Claressa's like, I heard people say, we need 3-minute rounds. You know what I mean? We'll get more. Why are we trying to sell people the knockout? They want to say Claressa is more. I know the haters, right? I get the haters. The haters and the naysayers go do it. But I'm talking about us as fans, us as supporters. We got to do a better job with Claressa. Again, I'm not just putting this at my ass. Last night, I did not see a whole lot of people live streaming Claressa Shields' fight. You know what I mean? Like they would have done it. Like, let's just say Devin Haney, right? I saw a lot of people do Devin Haney fight. Even people that claim not to like Devin Haney. People that claim to like Claressa Shields. You know what I mean? I didn't see a whole lot of support. You know what I mean? From us. You know what I mean? I didn't see a whole lot of support. You know what I mean? From us. You know what I mean? We look around YouTube. You must just be getting here. You look around YouTube, right? When it's, when it's the brothers fighting, right? It's full houses everywhere, fight parties everywhere. You know what I mean? Mostly after Claressa Shields fight. Most of the time when Claressa Shields fight, right? The same energy ain't being killed by her supporters. This ain't got nothing to do with the naysayers. I ain't talking about a naysayer or nothing like that. I'm talking about strictly the people that support her. You know what I mean? I'm talking about strictly the people that support her and get more glorified or do less and get praised. Shake my head at this point. What else can Claressa prove? Right, because you had the same people, right? You had the same people, that was in here on Savannah Marshall jock, right? You had on Savannah Marshall jock, right? He was asking people who thought Savannah Marshall was going to knock her out. You know what I mean? It's real people who thought Savannah Marshall was going to knock her out, right? She beat Savannah Marshall 12-0. She beat Savannah Marshall 12-0. Crickets. You know what I mean? As hard as people was going about Savannah Marshall knocking her out, as hard as people was going about Savannah Marshall being the whistle stopper, right? She conquered that, and everybody disappeared. You know what I mean? Like, if knockout, I'm telling you, like, and I'm not even meaning, and I'm not even saying this as, again, I'm not talking to no haters. I'm not talking to no naysayers.
I'm talking to people who claim that they support her. It's always people who claim to support her. They come in like, well, yeah, she the GOAT, but this, but that, but this, but that, but this, but that. You know what I mean? So Deja Green get number knockout. She got less fight than Claressa. She not a big star. I think that's the fight for Claressa Deja Green versus Claressa, right? So Deja Green not a huge star. You know what I mean? She not a huge star. She get knockouts. It's gonna take Claressa Green to beat. I mean, it's gonna take Claressa Shields to beat Deja Green. Well, Deja Green ain't that popular either. Deja Green will have to knock out about 6, 7 more people for them to be able to build their fight up to a point where we really need it to be. With Claressa Shields, it's like right now, she can't get an opponent because even when she gets an opponent, right, she go get in there, she go 12 over them and outclass them. With Claressa Shields, her attitude, right? People always talk about her attitude, just her attitude that. Well, her attitude is mostly what y'all talk about. Y'all ignore the fact of her struggle. Mainstream media, right? Y'all ignore the fact of her struggle. Y'all ignore the fact that no matter who you put it in there against, right? So far, she go 12 over them, right? You ignore the struggle, you ignore all that, but you highlight her attitude. You highlight she like to talk crap, right? So if I'm Claressa Shields right now, what I'm telling you, so people don't get too comfortable with you, Claressa, keep people uncomfortable. Like you're doing. Keep people uncomfortable. Keep talking about it. Keep talking the way you talk. Keep wearing the outfits that you wear. I like that Claressa Shields is wearing more swimsuits and lingerie and shit to her weigh-ins, right? The blonde bomber made that famous, right? And Claressa Shields been doing it like her last couple of fights, and she been doing it right. Keep doing it. Keep being fly. Keep being braggadocious. Keep being loud because they want to hush you. They want to censor you, Claressa, because people get comfortable. So people don't get comfortable with your greatness. Keep them uncomfortable. Keep talking that shit. Don't force for a knockout. Don't try to force a knockout. Don't change your style to benefit them. You know what I'm saying? Just keep racking up them W's because I see where Claressa is going. I see how she could turn this into a positive. You know what I mean? I see how she could turn this into a positive. You know what I mean? When I saw Claressa do her ring walk, did y'all see Claressa walk into the stadium? The thing with Claressa Shields, right? You know what's funny to me? The thing with Claressa Shields, right, is that if she was if she was a Yike person, she would probably be a superstar, right? Or if she was like on ESPN, she'd probably be a superstar, right? Or even if the PBC, because I'm blaming everybody for the reason Claressa Shields ain't a mega star like she should be already. I'm blaming everybody. All the power. I'm blaming boxing. I'm blaming boxing. You know what I mean? For not pushing her the way they supposed to push her. How the hell hasn't she been signed to ESPN yet? How the hell hasn't she been signed to Fox, PBC, Showtime? Yeah, it being put in front of people, being put on regular TV. Why do she gotta go to the UK? Why she gotta go overseas to make her name, to make her stance, to make a difference? And I get UK, and I get women's boxing is bigger, right, in the UK than it is in the shout out to the PBC. Hey, women, PBC has 0 women signed to their thing. That's my only gripe with them. That's my only gripe with the PBC. They have 0 women. Why hasn't anybody picked this woman up, bro, and pushed her into stardom, right? So maybe she either ain't no money in her for real. If ESPN ain't trying to back her, ESPN ain't trying to back her because she black. Because she black and she talk. That's why ESPN ain't trying to ain't trying to back her. They got Michaela Meyer though, right? They got her, they got her Olympic partner. They got her Olympic partner. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that, man. Maybe she needs Jake Paul to promote her. He did wonders for Sereno brand. Claressa comes once in a lifetime. She needs a big push into mainstream, right? And she need for us, right? She need for us to stop buying into the mainstream shit. She need for us, right? She need for us to simply call her fights like we call everybody else fights. Man, everybody go live. Everybody go live for fucking Earl fights. We go live for Bud fights. We go live for Devin fights. We go live for everybody fights. But look around YouTube. How many people went live for Claressa fight, yo? Go check your favorite. Go check your favorite people, dog. And look at the fights they go live for. And you tell me if they went live last night for Claressa, dog. They did not, bro. They did not. How many people you see? How many people you see talking about it? How many people you see talk about it, bro? Nobody is making. Nobody. We ain't pushing. We ain't doing her justice. Not the haters. The haters go hate. The haters go hate. And that right, Damon. But who? So who could she hit right? Okay, so who could she have fought that would have made us watch it like that? Nobody. It ain't Sedate. Talent-wise, bro. The only person who probably could keep up with her is Deja Green. But she not a superstar. Who could they have put in front of her? Now, Hannah Gabriel's would have been a bigger fight, right? It would have been a bigger fight. But my thing is, you can't bring. He said, I was definitely hyping up stuff. Exactly, you was, because you fell into the white hype, nigga. Yeah, because they told you she was the best. Because they told you she was the best. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop listening to them. Savannah Marshall ain't no better than that girl she fought last night. The fights be looking the same. That's what I'm saying. It ain't the opponent, y'all. It ain't the opponent. It ain't the opponent, y'all. It's Claressa, bro. We gotta support Claressa, bro. We gotta bring every chance we get. None of that. She ain't got no power stuff. None of that missing her fight calls. None of that, bro. We gotta support Claressa. You know what I mean, bro? It wasn't, bro. Go check how many. Look and see how many people. And I'm saying Devin because he was the most recent fight. Look at how many people call Devin fight, and look at how many people call Claressa fight. Look at how many people call Sebastian Fondora fight. Look at how many people. You know what I'm saying? It's us, bro. We getting comfortable with her greatness. We getting comfortable with Claressa Shields being great, bro. That's what it is. We gotta wait till somebody tell us this. Go watch this opponent. We gotta wait to see. Savannah not gonna be a job. Bro, she was knocking out scrubs. Savannah wasn't no better, bro. Literally. This girl that Claressa Shields fought was 16-5, and I'm telling y'all this how they do it, bro. This girl, and I didn't know a whole lot about this woman that Claressa Shields fought, right? I only knew Savannah because she beat Claressa in the amateurs, right? Which is what the whole thing was behind that, right? But I digress. This woman that Claressa Shields fought last night was about 16-5, right? If Savannah Marshall had fought the people that she was supposed to fight on the way to Claressa, she would have been about 16-5 too. To be real with you. He said, we are coming with her greatness though, but it is our fault as fans that she dominates in the sport. But like, okay, look at it. What I'm saying is, bro, Floyd Mayweather dominated in his sport the same way that Claressa Shields is dominating in her sport. Now, true enough, Claressa Shields still got some time to go. She's 26. And I think, right, she got him, and she might not want to do this, right? And she a woman, right? She might not want to do this, but I think it'd be the best thing for her. I think Claressa need to keep everybody uncomfortable because we get comfortable. I think she need to talk more shit. I think she need to be more braggadocious. I think she need to get more crazy in front of them cameras. I think she need to say more outrageous shit. I think she need to say more Mexicans can't beat her, more white people can't beat her, more African Americans can't beat her. I think she need to take on that Floyd Mayweather villain. This was Floyd. Bingo. Think about this, Desmond. But how did he do that? Floyd did that by hyping up his fights, right? I think she gotta, and it's sad, but with her being the pillar of her sport, with her carrying, with her, yes, and it's sad she gotta do this, right? But with her being the pillar of her sport, with her carrying her sport the way that she gotta carry it, right? I think she gotta go. She gotta make us all the way uncomfortable. She gotta go all the way heel mode all the way pretty boy Floyd. She gotta now she gotta make her transfer. She just gotta start. She gotta start talking regulars like you know what I mean? Like how she been doing. Like right now, I think she's stuck between that place of being accepted by them and being herself. But last night I saw her, right? I saw her how I saw her how I saw Claressa, right? How she walked into the arena, what she wore, what she was wearing going into this fight, what she was saying. I think I saw a Floyd Mayweather route to the top because she already is the highest grossing woman. She already getting paid more and more every fight. She increasing the dollar amount every fight. She got paid the most that a woman got paid in her last fight against Marshall, right? And she got more than that fight for this fight. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That she needs to drop. Try me to say it's 50-50 pool this week, but she does some very things well, like jab and avoid shots, but they're still amateur quick, try putting up pieces. That should slow down, take a Shakur approach. Said she needs to drop the WBC so she can fight a 12 round or 3 minute WBC won't allow, but she can find somewhere in the sanction and make history. They don't let the women fight 12 rounds. If she gets too much pride to the right boxers like Taylor and Serrano, she should mark them out too. Like she should. She gotta go. She gotta make everybody counter what she doing. Last night she was doing it, bro. Like it's just her attitude, bro. She had that Floyd Mayweather shit going. Like from the ring entrance, from the who's who, right? From the who's who to seeing you got more people, right? You got more people trying to be like, oh, it's the power, it's the power, it's the power. Nah, it ain't the power. It ain't the power. You know what I mean? It ain't the power because it's people like Shadasia Green who get knockouts and nobody know her. You know what I mean? Claressa Shields only got 13 fights. Shadasia Green got what? 10 fights, 11 fights, 9 fights, something like that, right? She ain't that far behind that come out with dirt or money bag, somebody top notch as entertainment. So she gotta understand her impact as an entertainer and not just as a boxer. But can she do it with no belts? She don't necessarily got it. What's good, Brown? I see Brown Slinger. What's good, Brown on boxing? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Brian. Glad you can make it. We in this thing having us a Claressa Shields conversation. You know what I mean? Now she wasn't. But Claressa Shields, I feel like Floyd did it in the beginning. Floyd didn't do it like Floyd brought the attention to him, right? By the stuff he was saying in his fights. But also an advantage that Floyd did have. We forget Floyd had that mainstream media push first. Devin Haney is getting that mainstream. You see how like Devin Haney, he on the zone, right? He was on the zone. And then he went to ESPN, right? But he was actually making more money on the zone than he was making with ESPN. But he got more popular with ESPN than he ever been. Now, right? He more popular than he ever been. But he was getting more bread necessarily back then. Like Claressa Shields ain't took that in the American media. She hasn't had that American media push. Even Floyd Mayweather, quick, TWT. Even Floyd Mayweather had that American media push. He had ESPN. When he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was ESPN. They was pushing him, right? It's like they won't touch Claressa Shields for whatever reason. Like they won't touch her, and she got a spick and span. You know what I mean? She spick and span with it. They won't touch her, and she spick and span with it. What I'm saying is, I think she got to get so wild with it, right, that they can't ignore her. She got to get, and it's sad that she got to do that, right? Because we clearly see you being one of one, you having the ultimate story, you being 2-time Olympic gold medal winner, You've been a 3-time undisputed 2 division simultaneously undisputed champion. You've been the only 2 division undisputed champion in the world. You literally losing like maybe 2 or 3 rounds your whole career out of 13, 14 fights, right? You lost maybe 2 or 3 rounds. You probably lost, if you average it out, you probably lost 1 round. You probably lost 1 round every 5 fights of your career. 1 round every 4 fights of your career, you probably lost, right? Because you see doing it that way ain't gonna work. It just gets you, you get everybody talking about what you don't do. But look, what did Floyd do? Floyd wasn't knocking guys out, but Floyd would talk like he would be knocking. And I think, and she did it the last fight, right? I think she needs to continue her heel phase, right? And just take it on in. Because I don't think they go mess with her. They don't want to touch her now, but she got to make it to where they want to see her lose. You know what I mean? She got to make it to where they want to see her lose. Because people saying knock out this, knock out that. No, you don't gotta knock people out. You don't gotta knock, you know what I mean, people out. Claressa Shields is more valuable if she loses. That's what people want her to do. They want her to lose so they can talk about that. That's what they want. She more valuable if she lose. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And that's sad. It's really sad for her. You know what I mean? Because if she lost last night, it'll be going bunkers on this motherfucker. It'll be going bunkers everywhere, right? But she comes to 12 on people, right? We so comfortable with her doing that, we expect it. Oh, Claressa Shields is great. Oh, Claressa Shields is great. And stop falling into the trap, bro. Well, if she was knocking people out, she'd be a star. No, because everybody that get knockouts, they don't push them either. It's a whole lot of knockout artists, right? That ain't stars. Like it's a whole lot of people without power that are stars. It's a whole lot of people without knockout power that we care about. You know what I mean? Y'all swear Earl Spence don't get knockouts, right? We like him. You know what I mean? Shakur don't get knockouts like that. We like him. Y'all Dale Pillow Fisted. You know what I mean? We like him. You know what I mean? I keep saying Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? It ain't a knockout thing. You know what I mean? It's not a knockout thing. Deontay Wilder, he got hella knockouts with extra pop, and they still hated him. You know what I mean? Like, it's boxers right now. Like, before Tank just did a pay-per-view with Ryan Garcia, he got $1 million. Tank was doing like 100,000 on pay-per-view, 150,000 on pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Type deal. So it ain't just, it ain't just the knockout. And again, Floyd didn't get no knockouts. In Floyd's prime, right, in his heyday, when people was spending all their money to go see Floyd fight, he was fighting just like Claressa Shields. He wasn't knocking guys out. He wasn't fighting no different. He was fighting just like Claressa Shields is fighting right now, with the defense, with the hands and all that. Why is it that we get to this woman and we expect her to knock everybody out in 2 minutes? Like, why? Why are we expecting her, this woman, to get knockouts in 2-minute rounds, right? We won't support her. We won't talk about it. It's literally like it's people watching the fights and saying, well, she's not going to be a star. She's not going to be a star because you saying shit like she's not going to be a star until this, until that, instead of pushing her as the star. Instead of you saying Claressa Shields ain't lost, Claressa Shields lost 3 rounds of her whole career. You come out here and say, well, she needs to get a knockout. She got pillow fists. You could clearly see them girls running from her. You can clearly see them girls going backwards on the back foot. You could clearly see them girls not wanting to step into that fire. And you will literally push that Claressa Shields has pillow fists. So why ain't nobody walking through her? Why ain't nobody walking through her? It sounded like they trying to floor Mayweather, Claressa Shields, and we letting them do it. They trying to floor Mayweather, Claressa Shields, and we letting them do it. The only difference is, right, they don't got a bunch of great white heights they can push at Claressa Shields because they know that they probably can't beat Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields probably gonna have her biggest moment, right, of her life if she lose. And that's the sad part. That's the sad reality of where she at right now. She'll have the biggest moment of her life if she was to lose. right? And we creating that space instead of celebrating the 12 O's, right? Instead of coming in here talking about how magnificent she looked with boxing, how her head movement is tremendous. Like she's untouchable in what she do. She's untouchable in her game. You know what I mean? If I'm Claressa Shields, this is really what I'm doing, right? Because this is a way it's gonna have to she gonna have to do, and it's sad, right? But if you're going to carry a sport like she is carrying a sport, right? So she gonna have to do something a little extra, right? Something a little more to stand out. I think she should get real. You know, I like the villain. I like the villain role that she played this time. I think they got her a lot of attention. What she said, they got her more eyes on her, right? I think she need to keep the villain role, and I think she need to increase her fights. She need to increase her fights because she gonna beat everybody, right? I think Claressa needs to start fighting like, man, maybe it's gonna sound crazy, right? But like, man, once every 2 months or something like that, right? I know she want to get paid a certain amount for a fight, but maybe take half of what you would make, right, and fight once every 2 months, right? If it's January, you fight January, then you fight March, and then you fight July, right? Then you fight September, right? In December, right? Like fight like 4 or 5 times a year. You know what I mean? Stack the fights, talk that shit, stack your fights, right? Now, maybe they can't pay you $1 million but take half, like set your opponents up. Maybe get you some scrubs. You know what I mean? Because we know you can beat everybody right now. Sadasia Green gonna need a couple more knockouts, right? So I say you and Sadasia Green, y'all fight the same level of opponents. Just start talking that shit. Just start talking that shit and just get her in there with some. Stop fighting mandatories and high level competition and shit like that for a second. Because we know you can beat everybody. You go 12-0 them too, right? So we know it's a gap between you and the best person in the division, right? Because you go 12-0 them too. So just get you some, stack you some KOs. Stack you some KOs or just stack you some fights, even if you don't KO people, right? Just make it look good. Like you did on the show. She was put on the show last night. She was shaking and gyrating and shit. She was moving. She was dancing and shit, right? She was pointing and shit like that. Do that. Make it like an exhibition, man. You know what I mean? Do that until, people think Sadasia Green is going to be the one to beat you. Because even that, as far as the talent-wise, right? Sadasia Green would be your hardest competition, but she ain't as popular as she need to be, right? And we know Katie Taylor don't stand a chance, right? Honestly, right? Amanda Serrano, that's your friend, right? They too small. You know what I mean? We know that, those are the popular women's boxers, right? You know you beat them. We know you going to beat them. Like, we know they get watched, right? So I think at this point, man, it's really Claressa Shields versus Claressa Shields. At this point, it's really Claressa Shields versus Claressa Shields, man. I think I think everybody, right, is getting real comfortable with, Claressa Shields' greatness. We starting to underappreciate, you know what I mean, the 12 O's, right? Because after the fights, we talking more about what she didn't do. We talking more about what she didn't do than what she is doing. I'm gonna say it again slow. Shade, girl, what's good, Shade? Appreciate you sliding through. We be talking more about what she didn't do than what she's actually doing inside of the ring. You know what I mean? She going out there and she looking like Florida Mayweather in there. She going in there, she looking like Florida Mayweather in there. She going in there, she putting on boxing clinics. And all y'all want to tell me after the fight is she should have knocked him out. Why is again, I'm going to say it because I want this to resonate with y'all. Why am I going to expect Claressa Shields, a woman, to knock out every opponent when Floyd Mayweather's biggest days, biggest paychecks mostly came from 12-round decisions on the back end of his career when he wasn't knocking people out? You don't need that to say, I'm not expecting her. First of all, women, it's not a whole lot of knockouts in women boxing in general. The reason there was a whole lot of knockouts back then, let's just be frank, right? It wasn't a whole lot of the pool. It wasn't a whole lot of women back then, right? The divisions were spread out back then. You know what I mean? But you don't have to be just you being a knockout puncher don't mean that you're gonna be a star. I mean, right? You being a knockout puncher don't mean that people gonna like you because there's a whole lot of people who get straight knockouts. Jerome Booth Emmys got 30 straight knockouts, right? And he not a superstar, right? He next in line, but it's still a level. It's a play that you got to get. You know what I mean? And that's Claressa Shields got to change how people view her. I think right now people just comfortable with her, right? And it's sad to say, but I think her best bet would be just to go straight villain mode. I think her best bet would be just start talking the most shit, start stacking her fights. You know what I mean? Increase her fights, right? Maybe take half her paychecks, right? Lower her competition a little bit, increase her fights a little bit, and run it up. You know what I mean? I like it though. I like the way she came in. I like how she came in with the diamond outfit, right? I like how she's showing a little more skin, right? I like how physically she looks better, right? She's more tight, right? You know, she's more tight. She in shape, you know what I mean? So maybe that's where that confidence and all that is coming from, right? But I think she needs to stick with it. You know what I mean? Not necessarily. I think she needs to be more of an entertainer, right? Because we know that you're the best boxer already, right? Floyd was the best boxer, right? I think Claressa Shields, people are comfortable with you, and I think you're comfortable with people being uncomfortable with you, right? But I think people have gotten comfortable with you, and I think she needs to switch it up, just you know what I mean, a little bit as far as which she's starting to do, right? The way she dressing more, the hairstyles and shit like that with her marketing, you know what I mean? Just a little bit. Like maybe get it, maybe be a little bit of this stuff that they claim that you are, right? Maybe be a bit more loud, maybe be a bit more disrespectful, a bit more braggadocious. Maybe show them a couple of them cars, you know what I mean? Uh Type deal. Because people are stupid. You know what I mean? People are stupid. People don't appreciate greatness. People don't appreciate, you know what I mean, you not being touched in your whole career. People don't appreciate your magnificent head movement. People don't appreciate your untouchable hand speed. People don't appreciate your unflappable foot movement. People don't appreciate, you know what I mean, the right stuff. And I think Floyd Mayweather figured that out, which is why he changed his whole persona. But people forget Floyd Mayweather was a quiet dude, didn't say much. You know what I mean? Didn't say much at all. But I think Floyd Mayweather realized at some point that it was it was entertainment along with the boxing, right? So I'm gonna go out. Paulo said, "Go run, fight 8 weeks like Joe Louis did back in the day as champ." This guy did, yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Like try to increase the fights. You know what I mean? But I think at some point Floyd Mayweather realized that, damn, I'm great. I'm beating all these guys, but I still ain't getting, I still ain't where I want to be. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the Money Mayweather persona and the talk, the talking, more so came in, right? When he was trying to sell, himself, you know what I mean, to the people. He started to be more of what, you know, he started to be more of what, they didn't want him to be, right? Oh, he this, he that. Well, Floyd Mayweather was like, you know what, well, I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna whip these fighters' ass and I'm gonna make a lot of money doing it. You know what I mean? Claressa Shields, I feel like she's at a point in her career, 25, 26, right? Physically, she can't be touched. Physically, she in her prime. I think she at a point now where I think right now her biggest moment in boxing at this point is going to be when she lose, right? So I think that she need to get I think that she need to get I think she need to make people more uncomfortable so she could get more people to talk about her on a bigger scale, right? Before she lose, because she shouldn't have to lose, right, for everybody to know her name. Because once she lose, then everybody go know who she is then, right? Especially depending on how she lose. Because everybody gonna be talking about it then, right? So I think, and it's sad, right? But I think she just gotta go full villain mode. She's gotta get just completely disrespectful with everybody, everything, every situation. You know what I mean? She just gotta get real disrespectful. She gotta start calling people out. She gotta start. She gotta start. She gotta start calling people out, not other fighters, right? But calling out the big heads, right? She gotta start calling out them because they're not messing with it anyway, right? She gotta start calling out the Showtimes, the PBCs, the ESPNs. You know what I mean? She gotta. She got to start there, right? And again, somebody said earlier, like, you know, be more, be more, in the loop as far as the rappers go, right? The culture, like the people the superstar, people that's going to be coming to your fights, right? Like maybe go, because I want to see her be successful, right? I really want to see her be successful. And I'm mad at YouTube too. I'm mad at all the content creators and shit. I'm mad at all y'all because none of y'all caught Claressa Shields fight. I saw a couple people did it. Just Do did it. Shout out Just Do. I saw a couple people call the fight, right? I think Skywalker did, right? I seen a couple people call the fights, but I'm disappointed in a lot of y'all because I see the fights that y'all been calling. I see 2 years ago when nobody called the fights, right? I was the only motherfucker calling fights. But I see in the last year or so, everybody started back calling fights, right? And I noticed the fights that y'all motherfuckers been calling, man. I noticed how y'all didn't call Claressa fight last night. You know what I mean? When motherfuckers go live, y'all be so quick to go live, on top of each other and on top of other motherfuckers, and for this dude fighting for that dude fight, right? But everybody, like when y'all go live, people come in that thing, people pay attention, people care about what y'all care about, and y'all ain't call that goddamn fight last night. You know what I mean? And I say Devin Haney because he the last mega fight, right? A part of why Claressa got to do all this shit, right? A part of why Claressa got to do extra, like I'm telling her, she got to do this, she got to do that. Part of that reason is because y'all, us as fans, we got comfortable with her. We comfortable with her winning 12-0. We comfortable with her dogging out every opponent. We know she go dog out every opponent. So sometimes we don't even bother to talk about the fights. We don't even bother to call the fights. We don't even bother to live call the fight, right? We don't bother to do the breakdowns because we know she go in, right? And I'm guilty of a little bit of that too, right? But I peeked around last night. People want to pretend that they support. I know I'm losing y'all. People want to pretend they support and whatnot and blase. She ain't have. It wasn't a whole lot of people. Wasn't a whole lot of people out there. Wasn't a whole lot of people out there on that Claressa Shields tip, man. You know what I mean? Wasn't a whole lot of people out there supporting, the Queen last night with that live fight call. It's partly on us, the supporters, right? It's partly on us, the supporters, why, we didn't let everybody get comfortable with on Claressa Shields, right? She's in the awkward spot, right? She's in the tough spot. I think the women after Claressa Shields are gonna benefit more from Claressa Shields being the great women's boxer that she is than Claressa Shields is going to benefit from. So, see what you mean. I think because of Claressa Shields, it's gonna be a whole lot of women, a whole lot of young girls out here, black, white, whatever color, right, boxing, right, starting to box. So I think on the way up, for them, it's going to be a nice field of competition, right? In the future, I think it'll be a nice field of competition. There'll be a lot of competition because they're watching Claressa Shields, right? Watching Katie Taylor, right? They're watching Alyssa Baumgart, right? They're watching all them, and let's go get them in the game. And I think by the time Claressa Shields she's 26, right? And it's going to be sad for her, but, she still might be in the game, right? By the time Claressa Shields is 35, 36, I think it's going to be a huge field of excellent women, right? And Claressa Shields is then going to have to prove that, I can stay on top. And I think maybe then she get her appreciation. Maybe she get appreciation on the back end, right? But I think a lot of Claressa Shields is going to have to maintain herself to let the game catch up with her, really for her to get the credit that she deserves to get, because we're not going to appreciate her until them fights start getting a little closer, until it's somebody who actually can get in there and, put hands on her. You know what I mean? We ain't going to start appreciating her until the game can catch up with her. You know what I mean? And I think that's terrible. And I think the only way that she could kind of speed that up or avoid that, right, is she could speed up, you know, uh, either way she could, speed up, not even speed up. The only way I think she could get to where she deserves right now, right, is if she started ruffling feathers. She started ruffling feathers like Floyd did. Kind of how when Floyd went on by himself, he started ruffling the little feathers. He started going into the Money Mayweather, not the pretty boy. She would have to do. It's gonna have to be something like that, right? If she really wanted to go MMA, maybe she take a break from boxing for a couple years, maybe like 2 or 3 years, and go strictly MMA, right? Maybe let the game catch up with her. Maybe she give herself a new challenge. You know what I mean? Type deal. I don't know, man, but Claressa is in a tough spot, man. She's so great. I think she's so great. People overlook her. I think she's so great. People, get comfortable with it, kind of like LeBron James, right? LeBron James been averaging 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists his whole career. It's kind of just like, that's LeBron. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. We seen that. We don't give a fuck. But somebody else can average 24, 5, and 5. Whoa, did you see him average 24, 5, and 5? You know what I mean? I think Claressa Shields kind of getting in that mode, right? You kind of getting to that level. Like, well, we know you're great, right? So now we're just waiting on you to lose, right? Now we only gonna talk about what you do bad. Now we only talk about, your shortcomings and things like that. And I think it got a lot to do with, I think they got a lot. He said if she can get her rational defense, however she could dominate the match. So you know what I mean? It's sad, man. I think that might be, that'll be the challenge for, I guess. But I don't want to hold y'all up too long, man. 'Cause I got to make these baseball bets. These baseball games come on at 10:30. Your boy said T. You got to get in. Got to make it happen. You know what I mean? Because they fucked my shit up yesterday. You know what I mean? The Woke did her thing, right? But some other motherfuckers fucked my shit up, right? But I think people getting real comfortable with, Claressa Shields and her greatness, right? Claressa Shields is one of one. She had a fight against Mari Corneja last night, right? She was a late replacement to Hannah Gabriels, who popped dirty for steroids, right? Hannah Gabriels, who I think would have been a much better fight, a bigger name fight, popped dirty for steroids, right? So I think that took a little luster out of it as well, right? But we can't blame Claressa Shields for that. But Claressa Shields won her fight last night, 12-0. She looked great as usual. Again, like, who, I guess, we gotta wait on. We talking about talent wise. Who gotta wait on Shadasia Green to become popular? I don't know who Claressa Shields gonna fight at this point, but I think Claressa Shields control her own destiny, and I think, man, she at this point she just gotta go full Floyd Mayweather mode and give people something to talk about every day, because we see you being perfect, you being great, you being strictly about your boxing, right? Two-time Olympian ain't enough, right? So I think we need to do better about, pushing Claressa Shields. I think we need to do better about, pushing Claressa Shields the right way, talking more about what she is doing, right? How she 12 on everybody instead of talking about what she ain't doing, right? Knocking people out, right? Why y'all expect her to get knockouts in 2-minute rounds and these grown men that y'all love and admire like Floyd Mayweather that don't get knockouts every fight, right? And he fight 3-minute, 12 rounds, right? Why y'all expecting so much from a lady? Damn. You know what I mean? But anyway, y'all saw what I did right there. But anyway, I digress. Skinny Hardaway, Sudden T. Talk about the shit that she is doing, not the shit that she not doing. That's how you help grow the sport. And that's how you help grow Claressa Shields. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all folks sliding through this thing. Skinny Hardaway, Sudden T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future, but this the present. That's how you rock. And I'm out. Look.